Hello and welcome everyone to episode 198 of One Piece at a Time, the One Piece read-through podcast where we read and discuss 5 chapters of the One Piece manga each and every week. I'm your host, Derrick Bittner, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and freelance letterer, Brandon Bovia. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm, of course, Brandon Bovia, freelance letterer extraordinaire, and, coming up on, kind of the end of the year. You're still pretty early in the Wano arc. I don't know. We're in a good spot. There's a lot coming up soon-ish that I think I'll be really excited to talk about.
It feels like we've settled in. At
yes,
this point.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. We were last episode was kind of our first, proper full episode, and then now is like, okay, we're kind of in the swing of things. We kind of finished our first kind of major story beat, and we're kind of we're about to transition into the next one. I feel like is kind of where we leave off. It's
a good way to start. We're setting a tone for Luffy. We're setting a tone for Wano. We're setting a tone for everything else going on, and we're even getting some little extra lore here about our friends that we've known for so long. So
yeah.
That's.
I feel like the lore reveals, I think, are some of the best stuff about Wano, but I guess that's true of One Piece in general.
True. So it definitely goes to some interesting places, and we'll have to see just how much we have to say about it all, because I think this is honestly rather straightforward overall.
Yeah. I don't think this will be a 2-hour episode.
You say that now.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh gosh. Let's just go ahead and get right to it with chapter 916, Wano Sumo, where we have another color spread celebrating the summer. Everybody getting to do their summer activities. Smashing the watermelons, lighting firecrackers, eating soba, I think.
Yeah, udon.
Udon is what Zoro's doing. And doing some barbecue with everybody.
Yeah.
And Nami just gets to drink soda.
Yes.
And pose like a model. Of course.
Yeah, never let an opportunity go to waste. Two things. First observation, because it's easy to forget sometimes. Man, Usopp is jacked.
Yeah, he is. He's way more jacked than you would ever think for him.
You don't see him with his shirt off that often, so it's easy to forget. Then also, I do love Frankie styling with his old hairstyle, but he's got the sideburns. But I think he had the sideburns in his.
I think he might have had the sideburns. He always looks good with that hairstyle.
He does, yeah. Any chance to bring it back, I'm all for.
Mm-hmm. Not sure how I feel about Robin's bikini and drooping short skirt combo. I don't know. Yeah. Just a little bit of the butt hanging out. I do. The more I look at it, the more the pose on Robin looks super awkward. I think it's the arm. The perspective on the arm is kind of busted, but I think it's one of those things. I can kind of see this as one of those challenges that how
how
that
the free run thing.
Yeah, the free run thing. It's deceptively difficult with that angle. And I can see that being deceptively difficult with Robin's arm, because I didn't notice that at first, but the more you look at that right arm of hers, it looks massive.
I can think of ways visually, I can feel how I would fix it, but hard to explain on an audio form like a podcast. But it is.
It feels like Oda wanted it wide enough that he could still get side boob in there.
yeah, exactly.
I think that's what that is.
Yeah. I don't often notice errors like that in Oda's art too much. So it was oh, interesting. And normally I feel like that he makes the proportions. He makes it work even within the confines of his art style. But yeah, kind of an odd one.
Yeah, a little odd. Decently fun, but it is funny to have that little error there. Either way, let's get into the chapter itself, where our Urashima has been de-top-knotted by Okiku. And
it's right. He's tearing up. I was like, oh no, this poor man, you broke this poor man's heart.
It's just you betrayed me, and
he's mad. Never mind.
He's mad. He's ready to sumo her. He's I don't feel bad for this dude. D-top knot.
Oh yeah, that's way. Yeah, exactly. Well, and of course, I love how quickly, because when we left off last chapter, right? Like Kiku was like, like she was like, surely you just, she was so cool, and then now she's just like, oh, what has this one done in front of so many people?
Please have mercy, Sir Urashima. Is like, what is that? What is up with that personality where she's like kind of trying to contain that samurai side of her? It's almost, even though it's pretty much out at this point. But she also has those barbs in here. It's that, but in the end, you are no better than a man who would strike a woman. And there he comes in, and Luffy's ready to go with his sumo slap to just match Urashima, and each of them almost get knocked out of the ring.
I guess Luffy has joined the battle. This is officially a sumo wrestling match.
Yep, turned it into a sumo match, so it's time to go. And Urashima's like, okay, what did you just do to my slap? This is not normal for me. So I gotta smash her to pieces. So it says protect my honor. So I need to get rid of you. And he's like, no. And Luffy's just like, hey, let's sumo wrestle. I'm good at sumo.
Luffy feels like a tourist.
He really
was like I gotta have a kimono, I gotta have a samurai sword. He's like, oh, I love sumo wrestling. And I love his little title card, the Luffy no Umi, this record undefeated versus Usopp.
I love how it's undefeated versus Usopp. It's the only one he ever sumoed against. Oh God. So I love the confidence on Luffy. Urashima's doing his body satsuki slap, and
just slop might be accurate.
Yeah. Got him. And he's just, look at the confidence on that face as he's dodging all of those attacks.
Yeah, no, again, it really feels like Luffy is kind of the strongest guy in the room right now, and he has just been like, clearly he's still in control of the situation. And I love, of course, we have to escalate the gag where Urashima goes for the ear splitter, tries to clap him, and then goes for the eye splitter and just tries to gouge his eyes out. He's like, that's against the rules.
There's just no honor for this guy whatsoever. He's like, I can handle it. And we cut into Hold'em, who has pliers, is pulling on this poor girl's cheek, Otama.
Oh, he's gonna get it. Oh, kill him. Did you see what he is doing to this poor little girl? I will not stand for this.
No, and he's like he's being reported about what's going on with Urashima. He's like, why are you telling me this? I don't care. I gotta rip this kid's cheek off. I'm like, oh my God, this guy.
Right.
And he basically is going, hey, you dropped the name Kozuki, so don't go chasing ghosts. The Kozukis are the ones who tried to destroy Wano 20 years ago, the clan of evil spirits. And it's like, what's going on with the Kozuki? A little bit, even though we know they're fine.
Even a little bit, yeah. It's interesting. I feel like that is sort of an interesting through line through this set, is sort of seeing how maybe kind of the populace of Wano as a whole views the Kozuki clan.
Yeah. And just this random cutaway to Law and Beppo. It's just like, am I dying, Captain? It's like, why did you eat the fish out of the river? Why'd you have to do this now?
Oh, poor Law this set too, who's just like, he's just trying to manage best he can.
I love how Law returns to the story and he's just immediately just put upon it all.
Yeah. The boy is stressed out.
Why are they doing this to me? And of course, Hawkins is reporting in as like, okay, do not engage Straw Hat. He is far beyond your ability. Wait for me. And I love, like, you have this stretch, especially because Luffy starts so long ago before I forgot to point this out, but the transition to Hold'em is Luffy stretching out his arm and it going past this building. And it looks like the panel is being cut, and it could be that, but it kind of interpreted it almost as like that's his arm going across. That's why was my first thought. But I guess it is just a panel being cut. But it's like,
but you do get those distant shots of just how far Luffy is stretching.
Yeah, and it's like, what is that? Everybody's wondering what's going on there. And, of course, Urashima's talking a big game. It's like, she spurned the offer to marry into the warrior class and shamed me beyond that. I must crack her head open and make an example of her. Move it. And it's like, shut up. I said you could do whatever you want. You have to beat me. And he's and he's like, wait, what are you talking to me like that for? I'm the greatest sumo wrestler in all of, and I'm going to be king of the pirates. And he just hits him with a giant sumo slap across his entire massive body. Good old gear 3. God,
I love that you could feel the impact. Like you see just sort of the goons watching on the side, and it's just like it's like a boom. Yeah. It's like a shock wave.
The shock wave on all the viewers. And then sending him flying through all the buildings. It's like, oh, good God. He got demolished.
Yeah. Well, I love it. The transition from that and then to one of the other onlookers who's kind of like pointing at Zoro, just like, this is the guy who sliced up the magistrate. And he's just like, yeah, so what? It's just like, oh, these people they mean business.
Yeah, who are these guys?
You got him all just posing like a boss.
Yeah. Zoro's in his element in this country, I swear. And Luffy just shouts out, okay, go get the boss of this town. We're here to take Tama back. And, they're like, oh, God, they're rebels. We got to get away. And we got to fight them. So Master Hold'em's got the kids. So we'll stop you from taking them. And Okiko's like, oh no, what should this one do? And Zora's like, you don't need my help. And she's just like, oh, right.
The facade is it's out.
It's like she's struggling to maintain the undercover nature she's had, and it's just gone. Yes. And Zora's like, yeah, you're not fooling me.
Yeah. So of course all hell has to break loose as they're just really just like fighting guys like, where's the boss? I love this bit where Luffy holds up to guys like, what's your boss's name? And of course he's like bleeding out and dying. And he's like, oh, and so Luffy's like, get out of here, Buldaboo.
If you even touch Tama, you're gonna get it. And the fire started from all the destruction, and that's when Hold'em shows up. It's like, all right, my name's Hold'em. And, I didn't have a choice to show up because you sent the sumo wrestler through my house and knocked it to the ground. So now it's my business.
Yeah. This whole sequence it's just pure slapstick. Kind of quite literally slapstick.
Yeah. It's, I love how that's how you get involved is you sent a sumo wrestler through my house. I'm concerned.
And also the poor visual of poor Tama being like held hostage in like the jaws of a lion.
It's like, oh, this poor kid, she's gonna get like crushed, eaten and whatnot. And it's like, well, if you're bold enough to fight back against this, then I assume you must be followers of the thief named Shutenmaru. Sounds like you want this kid back. Well, don't move. I'll crush her in a moment. So you can't get to me. In time. And all the while, Hawkins is trying to get in there. He's like, okay, Bakura is just ahead of us. We're going to get there. Hawkins is at the gate according to, Law's being told. And Law's like, Law and Hawkins just like, oh God, how are we going to deal with what we have to deal with? While Luffy's just like, yeah, I'm going to save you, Tama. No worries.
Yeah. It's Luffy's causing stress on both sides, both for his companions and his opponents.
Yeah, that's Luffy. That sounds about right. For sure. Oh God, just it's that wonderful moment at the beginning of a lot of arcs where the strength that they gained in the last arc is enough to just steamroll everybody in front of him.
It really does
a while.
Feel like kind of a victory lap, right? I think I mentioned this last episode as well, where it's just like Luffy's just kind of on a tear, right? And after what he went through. In Whole Cake Island, against Katakuri and stuff, it's like, yeah, man, at this point, like, clearly we're gonna have to go up the ladder a few steps in order to really start getting a challenge.
Just a bit. Before we move on, we do have an SBS. First up is Oda Sensei, I need to tell you about the world's biggest mystery. What kind of chin is Eva-chan's chin? I'm so interested. Please tell us. And he's like, oh, it's just fried squid shaped.
Okay.
That's all. That's what he basically.
Sure. I'll take that.
And here's an interesting thing, because we did talk about this in one of our bonus episodes. I don't know if it's the same one they're referring to, but there was a One Piece exhibit at Tokyo Tower for a while. And this is asking about this. So the theme songs that play in the Tokyo One
Oh.
Piece Tower, Forever Dawn and Phantom Promise by Green, were compiled into an album named Roots of D. Roots is Green inheriting the will of D okay? It is, right? It is, right? It was like, what? And he's like,
Sure.
oh, you're talking about the Tokyo One Piece Tower show theme song. And you're asking about the D in that album name. In fact, I heard from the person who wrote it, Hide-san, from Green, about what the D in Roots of D is supposed to mean. It is the will of D. Wow. Good, clap. He was pretty carefree about the whole thing, but that's basically what he said. It's a great album, so please listen to it. If you get the chance to see it, the Tokyo One Piece Tower show is on every day, so go visit that as well. Phantom was directed by me as well. It's pretty great. So, neat. And then this is I appreciate this one. Brule is a wonderful lady. I love her and would love to take her out on a date. Is there a possibility of me dating or marrying a member of the Charlotte family? And Oda just says, I understand. It's the moe that comes from being in a moto, right? Don't go eloping on us. What's an emoto?
Little sister.
Oh, oh my God. Thinking of her is just like, she's cute because she's a little sister.
Yeah. We're talking in like otaku tropes about Brule.
Oh, that's amazing.
I mean, it's technically true.
Yeah, it is. All right. Well, let's continue on to chapter 917, Food Treasure Barge. And I love, this is the last we see of Bellamy, but I love this element that we go out on here. Is like there's an unbreakable fabric in this town, and you see him designing the Straw Hat flag to make an unbreakable Straw Hat flag, and that's pretty poignant.
Is that a callback to Drum Island? Because that's what I think of. With where like they shot the Dr. Hirulick's flag, and Luffy was like, "You see, it's unbreakable."
It might be.
That's what I think of.
That'd be cool, but I love that. I love that. I don't know how he got onto this kick of printing like this, but the fact that this is what he's doing with it is like, oh, that's sweet, Bellamy.
it is like I love so much about like what we've learned sort of about Bellamy's starting point and how kind of meeting Luffy finally, like in a very roundabout way, gave him like a direction in life where he was just kind of like a small town thug who got in with the wrong crowd.
Yeah, it's sweet in its own way. It's like
definitely.
It's cool to see how it changes. But let's get into the chapter itself, where we check in on Okabore Town. They're just talking about the fact that there's pretty major ruckus going on over in Bakura.
Yeah, and everybody's hungry.
Yeah, the kids are crying because they're so hungry. He's like, you can't embarrass yourself. You're a boy of Wano, so don't let me catch you complaining. And Tsuru is being asked about, hey, do you have any of the evil purging herbs? Because my child couldn't take the hunger, and they drink from the river, and you just see it's all the factory and the sludge being poured into the water.
It's wild how much this keeps coming up. Like this is such a crucial like concept to this part of the story. Like I feel like it's one thing to say, oh, we can't eat, or like we can't drink the water from the river, but like this is like the third time that it's been like, oh, it's dangerous, and like somebody got sick from it.
Yeah,
it's
even taking out poor Beppo.
Yeah, right. Like so, it goes to show just how much it is like destroying the way of life here.
Yeah, and then to immediately contrast that with the Paradise Farm at the far end of Bakura Town, and it's just it's like this lush, idyllic scene that Oda draws of just like.
All
just
food,
massive houses and nice fat cows and bulls eating happily and just clear water. It's like the idyllic Japan. And then they
right.
You see all this stuff, and they got workers here. It's like, all right, once you're done unloading, slip out through the back way to Ukabura. It's like, oh wait, you're only giving me 5 pieces of silver? This isn't enough to feed my family for a week. I can't even buy enough water with this. And of course, the guy paying this is like, nah, no talking back, and just kicks him away. It's like, jeez.
Yeah. Also, you pointed this out last time, but like the detail that like they don't use berries in Wano. This is one of those things I don't think they ever really point out, but is so cool.
Yeah. It got gold, silver, and I guess copper pieces would be the final one.
Probably.
I guess we'll see. That's
Probably.
usually how it goes. But time for us to meet a new character.
Yes.
A headliner by the name of Speed that took the horse smile fruit.
She's an Uma Musume.
Yeah, she is an Uma Musume, where they it is so weird looking at this design. It's like because Oda had to approach the factors like, okay, how do you put pants on a horse? Would they wear it like this or would they wear it like this?
Right.
Oda's solution is both.
Yeah.
Because you can look at just the front of this woman and it looks like a normal woman, but then you just notice the centaur part sort of attached to the back. It's very, very odd. And I mean, yeah, it's a fake fruit. It's like, I don't know what to think of this design. Like, it's like, I like how she's kind of typical and then she smiles. And then it's
and then it's
weird horse smile.
Yes, exactly. It is. It's a different one for sure. I like Speed, but you know.
And apparently everything about her is just filled with horsepower. Her the vision, her smile, and she's alerted to something going on in Bakura because of the fire alarm bell. So they got to go take care of it. But they're so weird that they apparently instead of fighting the fire, these guys the Igumi just claim the fire and dance around it rather than actually put it out. I don't get that joke, but it's
I don't really get it either. I was staring at that panel. I was like, I'm missing something here.
Yeah, there is something odd about that, but okay. And Speed's just wondering, okay, what's with all the destruction? I don't quite get it. So it's like, oh, there was supposed to be a sumo event today, and that's how we transitioned back to poor Otama being still stuck in the lion's mouth.
Yes, this feels quite I guess not quite like a trolley problem, but it is like like you can't do anything. How do you intend to save her? She's right in my clutches. All that fun stuff.
All I have to do is just one little motion for me and just chomp on this girl.
Yeah.
So Kamijiro is the lion tummy is ready to go.
Kami in this context meaning like biting. Which makes sense. Yeah.
Luffy's not really threatened though. He's like, let her go or I'll whoop you.
Of course, yeah.
And Holden's just like, oh, you're talking big, but you know what this brat can do, right? It'll take you hostage and capture Shujamaru in the bargain. Who's that? Don't play stupid. It's you're the boss of your band of thieves. Who?
Well,
Okiku knows.
I was about to say Otama. No, Okiku knows.
Yeah. But apparently there's been a thieves from that's been stealing from the Paradise Farm, and they know it's the people in the Atamayama Thieves Brigade. And given that you defeated Oroshima, even if by a fluke, you expect you're one of his more important henchmen. So you're going to do what I say. It's like, buddy.
Yeah. And I feel like it's telling that we kind of take this opportunity to just kind of like, he's just going to keep yapping, So, all right, we're going to kind of get the breakdown from Okiku here.
Mm-hmm. It's because much like Caesar on Punk Hazard, he's confident because of who's supporting him. As Okiku explains, the townspeople aren't afraid of him. It's who's behind him. It's the right-hand man of the animal camp of Kaido, a warrior named Jack the Drought, who sits in control of Korea.
Like, well.
So apparently Jack is powerful enough to be the right-hand man of Kaido. Does that mean
Jack is back?
I don't know if that means he's actually the first mate or just one of them. It's hard to say at this point.
I think in Zoe, oh my god, and I apologize if I'm getting ahead of myself because there's so many details to keep track. I think he's a part of the top 3.
Okay, yeah, I can't remember if that was detailed or not, but it would make sense that he's over 1 billion. He's definitely going to be
a
problem, or I guess at 1 billion. And, Luffy immediately has the one who poisoned the cat and dog, but I thought the elephant smashed him. It's like, his ship sank into the ocean, so he shouldn't be a problem. It's like,
yeah. And I love, we know what he's talking about. No, Kiku's like, talking about animals? What are they talking about?
And all she says is, well, Jack's not dead. He arrived here several days ago. If you anger Hodum and the man they call the Drought shows up for vengeance, this entire town will surely be reduced to a desert wasteland. It's like, good God. And Luffy's like, hey, you're just keeping the entire town hostage. That's dirty. Hodum's just like,
of course.
Hey, I thought you said we were going to take the kid back. But hey, the instant you move, this happens. And she starts having Kimijiro bite down a little bit. And Luffy's like, definitely like, no, knock that off now.
Yeah.
And Hodum's just completely like, I love the pain screams of inferior. I owe you for busting down my house. So I'm not concerned at all. And that's when Speed shows up.
You can definitely tell, like, this is Hodum. I feel like now that we know that he's just one of Jack's stooges, right? Like, he's just kind of he's yapping, but he's just like a low tier villain, basically.
Yeah, he's nothing. He's really nothing. But hey, that food treasure barge shows up and is looking mighty fine with all that food. And of course, Kiko says it's the food from Paradise Farm, and immediately gets Luffy angry because, again, it involves food, a harmless, healthy harvest raised on pure, clean water. Why is it only for them? And that's Luffy's like, okay, Zoro, you get that one, I'll get Tama. And
it's just like, okay, enough standing around. Let's just like hurry up and do this thing. It's like, he'll probably get mad.
Yeah, we're gonna grab and run. It's like, when? He'll probably get mad, but at least we're not gonna smash the guy. What? And we switch over to Hawkins coming into the town and trying to find Hodum because Hodum isn't picking up Hawkins' calls, and that's when he sees a swordsman with a straw mask over his head and stops him. It's like, stop where you are. And Hawkins meets the breaker and is like, oh, he's mighty. And it immediately feels like this was Law's solution to try to not be found out by Hawkins.
Yes. So, yeah. I should destroy anybody who would actually recognize us. It's like, okay,
nobody knows who we are in this country, so we got to make sure they don't know what we're bringing to the table.
Yeah, this is again. I feel like I don't feel that bad for Hawkins, but they're trying to bring some level of control into the situation. So it's fun that he has to kind of just barely disguise himself a little bit.
Yeah, and Hodum's ready to execute one of them right now. He chooses Okiku, and as they grab hold of Okiku, Zoro and Luffy just have a smile with this Sha, and bam, lion punch in the face. Otama's gone. He like before he can even move or think, he's punched that lion out and got the girl back again.
Yeah, and just, again, they are operating on a completely different level right now.
Zoro slices through. And immediately has the Komo Inu grab hold of the food paradise barge. Let's pull it right out of town, and let's go here, get out of here. And Otama in the meantime, it's like, I don't know if he said anything or Luffy notices the bruises on her cheeks. It's like, what's up with your cheeks? It's like, and she's like, oh, I'm fine. He only tugged on him with his pliers a bit. It's funny, you can't even pull out my millet dumplings that way. And Luffy's like, pliers? He's immediately pissed.
Yeah. It is just boom, boom, boom. I feel like we're hitting all of the beats, right? It's just kind of like, the bad guys get to have the nice food and they tortured this little girl, like, it's wraps. It's done.
He's really is personifying what you said last time. It's like, I only just met this girl, but if anything happened to her, I will kill everyone in this room and then myself.
Yes.
He's just not himself Otama in this case. He's taking just out everybody.
Yes.
But he tosses, let's go of her. And she starts falling. And Hodum's trying to have his lion fire roar with Kamijiro. And, Otama, as she's falling, is like, don't worry, big bro. I'll be fine. You saved me. You don't have to do this. and the fire comes out, and she's like, "Oh no, he's getting burned to a crisp," and Hold'em's getting ready for a trick mechanism sword. All Luffy does is Gum Red Hawk just smashes him across the face. He is done. I'd say it's up there with one of those more satisfying punches.
I mean, you saw that. You saw the buildup. You saw he's trying to pinch Otama's cheeks with pliers. He clearly is just like one of those low on the rung C tier, D tier villains. Not really anything. Not important narratively necessarily. So it is just like, all right, let's just like take care of this guy in one shot. Consequences be damned. Basically.
Yeah. And those are always satisfying. I appreciate those.
Good satisfying punch. It's again. So I was surprised reading these chapters for this podcast because I thought this section lasted like way longer. So I was like, oh, like we're just that's it. We're done. We're kind of moving on from that. So I was like, I remember
not a threat at all.
More
we got Otama back.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the big standout thing for me is noticing like, oh no, like Luffy and Zoro are just like they're kind of running the shop here.
I mean, it's our two most powerful members of the crew.
Yes.
These folks do not stand a chance until they bring out the big guns.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. So that's fun. We do have another SBS. This one starts off with, in the beginning, everyone who was drinking alcohol drinking from a glass that looked like a beer mug. Somewhere down the line, it transformed into something looking like a little barrel instead. When did you make this change, and why did you make this change? And Oda says, "Oh, very sharp. Isn't a barrel more pirate-like? Well, that's the official story anyway. The law in Japan says that you can't drink alcohol if you're under 20 years old, so it's better if you can't see what anybody's drinking." Laughing out loud. However, I do think the barrel is cooler than the beer mug anyway.
I guess that's fair enough.
That's a pretty clever way of getting around those type of rules.
Yeah. It reminds me of like those like various anime and manga where there'll be like a character will be like smoking a cigarette and it'll say like chocolate on it or whatever, or they'll like they'll just have a point like this is juice, but clearly holding like a wine glass or something.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, they're just drinking orange juice. Mm-hmm. And I sent it over your way for our other one because it's time to continue the idea of what would this character look like at age 40 and 60. This times it's Zoro. So if he lives on with any major problems, it'd be something like this, where honestly, him at 40 kind of reminds me of Rayleigh.
I was going to say the exact same thing. Yeah, I was going to say he looks like Rayleigh.
But him at 40 and 60, if things do not go well, ooh.
Yeah, boy.
That is, yikes.
Man, these bad futures are sure something.
Yeah, just balding and losing teeth and, God. I do love the translations. They have translations for the little kanji that's next to them, like a little saying something. And 40-year-old is Yontoryu, or 4-style sword style Zoro, and age 60 is Gotoryu, or 5-sword style Zoro. So he just keeps every 20 years he gets another sword.
Yeah.
And what he says at age 40, if something bad happens, is, "I'm quitting. Holding that katana in my mouth has made my back hurt." And age 60 is like, "Hey, I'll kneel down if you lend me some money."
Wow. Tough times, man. Tough times.
Seriously. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to chapter 918. Luffy Taro returns the favor. And it was part one of bringing the saga of the self-proclaimed Straw Hat Fleet to a close, as we have our beautiful pirates Cavendish, the Bardo Club of Bartolomeo, the Hapasui Army of Donsai, each with their own symbols.
Yeah. It's cool that we're getting a little recap here.
Yeah, it's nice. But we get into the chapter itself. Hold'em's down. Otama's falling. Luffy catches her without any problems. And Zoro's like, oh, he's done it now.
Yep. It's just like, all right, don't stop. Head to the entrance. Like we got our ride. We got our food. We are just getting out of Dodge.
And Speed's thrown off as like, wait, he beat you in a single punch? Who is this guy? And Luffy's running through all of them, spots the back end of Speed. It's like, oh, sweet, it's a horse. Let's go. He just jumps on top of her and grabs hold.
Trying to cop a feel, it looks like.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, going around the waist. Oh my god, that could have been bad. And she's just like, oh my, who's manhandling me? And she's like, what's the big idea? It's like, wait, a person? Wait, a horse? Tama, can your dumplings do anything against her? And she says, control the horse. It's like, wait, it's never worked on a person. And she's like, I don't think this is going to work. But Speed sees the dumpling and decides to eat it on her own anyway. Just, like a horse.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
Where to,
Tama
Master?
has a new slave.
Which, if this works on Otama, and she's a smile fruit, can Otama control all the smile fruit users with her power?
That is an interesting question.
Otama just became incredibly important with this with this little bit of revelation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like even from the start, right? It's like, oh, this is actually a really strong devil fruit, but like it's only like not evil because Otama's just like a sweet little girl.
That helps a lot, and even she's confused. Like, wait, this worked? this
worked.
It's like, well, maybe because she's half horse. And Luffy starts calling out. It's like, okay, Horse Lena, after that treasure barge. And it's like, I'm not your servant. Please would do what he says, miss. Yes, master.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, wow. Gosh. But I love this. It's very sweet, this part. It's like,
yes.
Hey, big bro, in that fight back there, you were just like Ace.
Yeah, which is good. I love that she noticed that. And that's why using Red Hawk in front of Tama. And of course, Luffy's just like, huh, what'd you say? She says, I didn't say nothing at all. She just gives him a big old hug. It's wholesome.
It's so sweet.
It's cute.
Oh my god. Just melts your heart with that sort of thing. Oh god. I really like Otama.
Yeah, no, she's definitely like one of the best new characters we've gotten so far. I mean, I think both her and Okiku are both just great.
Yeah, but time to see how the confrontation between Hawkins and Law is going, and he casts his room, and he's like, okay, Zora's over there, and he knows the plan. He shouldn't be stupid enough to let Holm get crushed. If they mess with him, it's all over. About that.
Yeah.
But Hawkins is extremely observant and notices the tattoos on Law's fingers. Wait.
And the devil fruit, of course.
And the devil fruit is like, wait a second. They did have an alliance. It is possible. And, he uses the chambers to gets over close and then try to slice through. But even that ability is transferred to his men. But thankfully, with Law, if you get cut, you don't actually die.
Right. Yeah. They're just splitting you off. So that's honestly, like, Hawkins is kind of a really tricky devil fruit to fight then, because you can't actually hurt him.
Yeah, it actually makes for a very interesting matchup between Hawkins and Law.
He's got 10 health bars.
Yeah. It's a fun set there. It's like, okay, it's like, okay, you certainly think on your feet. It's just a bluff. Murder isn't my style. I am a doctor. And he just says, well, welcome to Wano. When was the last time we saw each other? Saboti? You don't seem to be a tourist. It's like, oh, you didn't think I was aware? I ran across Straw Hat's a bunch earlier. I assumed that you wanted to silence me before your cover was blown. It's like, oh, God.
Well, that's it. Yep.
What is going on
And
here?
of course, I love we get the phone call to Hawkins, and like the brigands have defeated Master Hold'em and are currently on the run. We've already reported to Master Jack. And Law's like, those idiots.
This is the worst thing that could have happened. And sure enough, here comes the Koma Inu with Zoro and all the rest. It's like, hey, get out of the way. We're coming through in a hurry. It just crashes through everybody.
Yep.
Law jumps on, and he's just like, you. And, oh, hey, Traffy.
Yeah, it's just, of course, I love it because he's so stressed out. He's like, I seem to remember you swearing up and down you wouldn't make waves. Not only are you a wanted man, you also called Jack upon us. You're supposed to be a Ronin in the flower capital. What are you doing in Curry? He's having a breakdown. He can't take it anymore.
And Zoro isn't really even saying anything. It's just like, and Kiku's like, who is this? Is everything okay? We're leaving town soon. It's like, okay, let's go to Okobore town and unload this stuff. And we see the crying child, the old men, the children, everybody coming in, and just
there's a lady with a knife.
Yeah, I don't know what she was doing.
No, there's a guy trying to kill himself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh, I missed that. There's an old man getting ready to kill himself.
That's lady, so dark.
I think, maybe planning to kill herself and her baby.
Oh, my God.
Holy crap. I did not notice that the first time.
Me neither.
Oh, no.
That is brutal. Wow.
Just showing how desperate it is, but... God, the immediate hope that comes out of just like, it's food, a treasure barge. Why are we really allowed? And the kids just eating all that food and just crying tears of joy, holding the fish and just so happy. And they have other people, these guards come and like, hey, stop there, people. These aren't leftovers yet. Well, pay attention. And
I love one of them has just got like a whole, like he's got a bunny for a chest and like the ears coming out of his shoulders.
I love how Oda is subtly showing that why the Smile Devil Fruit are not quite right.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's Batman on the right there, and then some guy with like a snake for a a snake.
He has a snake around his waist, like like.
Okay, that's not how I interpreted it.
Oh, I know, but I decided to go G.
Okay.
I did not think about that, but I do not want to think about that. So we're going to move on from this man's snake. But yeah, they all get crushed by Luffy dropping down a massive barrel of fresh water with no poison. It's like, hey, take it on the house. If I'm Luffy Taro, if anyone asks, you tell them my name. And it's like, oh, thank you so much, Luffy Taro. How many years has it been since we've had actual drinking water?
Man, seeing all of these happy people, Luffy literally stopped a lady from killing herself and a baby.
Oh my God. I still can't believe we missed that.
That is nuts.
Unbelievable. And I love how Luffy spots Law. It's like, oh, hey, Traffy, it's been so long, huh? And Law's like, Straw Hat, let me be clear. This is a rebellion against Wano. And
well, it was bound to happen sooner or later.
Yeah. And meanwhile, they have Otama just like, ooh, an apple.
Right? So cute. I can't take it.
Can't believe she's actually getting to eat an apple. And hey, he's just like, this is me repaying the favor to Tama for feeding me, at least the start of it. Like, I love how getting these people this amount of food is just the start of him repaying his debt for her birthday meal.
Yep. I feel like that is just such a good line from Luffy, because I feel like it really does encapsulate how much he really understands that like people going hungry is like a like an innate failure, basically, right? Like it's something that should not be allowed to happen.
It really explains his whole thing with Sanji as well, when he first met Sanji.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing Sanji feed Gin is what convinced him that he wanted Sanji on his crew. And at first you think it's like, oh, it's because he's a nice guy. It's like, no, food is that important to Luffy. I love how Oda ties it into his character so much, rather than just being the protagonist that eats a lot like every other shonen.
Yeah, and it's not entirely like magnanimous either, because of course I think back to that speech on Fishman Island where he was like it was Fishman, right, where it was like like I don't want to be a hero because the hero has to share all the meat. I'm a pirate, the pirate, and of course here he is like jumping in like make sure you save me that meat. So he's there to share the food with the people, but he's also going to get he's going to get his share as well. Which I guess is that's what being a pirate is all about.
It's pretty perfect. But they see as they're all celebrating, Baccarat's on fire. Hodom's knocked out, but the lion's still swiping for some reason.
Yeah, let me at him.
And Hawkins is just sort of reporting in. Is like, yeah, it doesn't reflect well upon me, but with 3 of such difficulty at once, I have no chance. So this is...
Yeah, and then that panel of him just staring off into the distance is like, oh, geez.
Oh, gosh. And Luffy, I love how as Luffy's eating and just the whole barge is like, you see it, it's all been claimed. The entire barge is already gone. He's like, hey, don't celebrate like this is special, Tama. We'll make it so this is normal. By the time we leave this country, it'll be a place where you can eat as much as you want every single day. And that gives her another flashback for Ace. The next time we come back to this country, it'll be a place where you can eat as much as you want. And he's like, oh, don't you want that? It's like, no, of course. I'm happy, of course. I'm just Star Wars is all.
Dude, I love this for 2 reasons. Because one, I don't know, you talk about like parallels and Will of D and stuff like that. And then just seeing like Luffy saying the exact same line that Ace said. And then the other thing is for like, what the heck was Ace doing in Wano?
Right. He crash lands there and then declares that he's going to come back and, make sure that she's actually fed well.
Right. Which like, I think leads to the implication that like, he kind of understands what's going on here.
Yeah.
And just like for whatever reason couldn't do anything about it. Which again, I feel like this is also Luffy kind of inheriting Ace's will in another way.
I think Kaido is probably already established at this point because it wasn't that long ago. Kaido is definitely old enough for this to be within the 20 years. For sure. And he was just a small portion. Like it was just his small crew as part of Whitebeard. So he did not have the strength to take on Kaido at that point. I'm pretty sure of that. So maybe he was thinking like we can get, Pops to come back and we'll get this as our territory instead.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
I would imagine even like kind of the power struggle between the 4 emperors. I could understand why you wouldn't necessarily want to just like, waltz right in and, start, breaking stuff.
Yeah.
So I get it, but it is also, I don't know. It's one of those things that is, keep it in the back of your mind because it is somewhat important.
Yeah. But we end things off with Zoro saying, well, you've gone and done it. Now they'll be coming after us for real now. Prepare yourselves for trouble. Law's just like, you don't get to say that. You shut up.
Yes. He's so cranky right now.
Let's go to that mountaintop, the ruins of Odin Castle. You'll want to meet the ghosts of Wano. And they're like, ghosts? Yeah, you'll be stunned. And Zoro's like, yeah, it got me too. You will come to know a truth that you cannot believe. And this threw me for a loop. It shows the gravestones of Kanjuro, Kinemon, Kozuki, Odin, Momonosuke, Raizo. It's like, the hell?
Right?
Have they been dead this entire time? Like, what is happening? It threw me for such a loop.
You would even think that maybe they had been gone for so long. Or maybe been presumed dead. But,
I don't know, but it's like
it's an interesting hook here. Yeah. We have saved our first batch of people, so now it's time for the lore. It's time for the backstory.
Yeah. We do have another SBS though. Good mount this time. First up is so Luffy often says, I'm going to be king of the pirates, but why doesn't he ever say, oh gosh, this is not properly This is the problem with going off this. So he often says, Kaizoku uni ore wa naru. I'll be the pirate king. But why doesn't he ever say ore wa Kaizoku uni naru? Is there any special meaning behind the way he says it?
Oh, it's the word order, basically.
Yeah, the word order. I'm like, why?
I don't think it's that. I guess maybe to Japanese readers. I don't think that's that big of a deal, is it?
Yeah, but Oda says, what a laugh. This question is finally asked after 90 volumes. Somebody has finally caught on. The truth is, about 20 years ago, when the One Piece anime was first starting, the man I now call the father of One Piece, Toei Animation's producer Shimizu-san, asked me the same question. Because I had such a strong obsession when it comes to this phrase, Shimizu-san was assured that One Piece would be a success. That strong obsession was to be continued. It won't be continued. Well, in summary, it's just a strong phrase. Although the grammar of the question of like why not ore wa kaizoku or oninaru is better. Yeah. I thought Luffy wouldn't be able to tell the difference anyway. Basically, the answer is we went with the flow.
Yeah.
The other one is more grammatically correct, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
But Oda found it to be a stronger phrase for him.
Yeah, it's punchier.
Yeah, which.
Yeah,
I have no idea how they translated that for the English volumes.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing because either way it would still translate to English as I'm gonna be king of the pirates. I guess translated more directly it would be like king of the pirates I will become, but that sounds way more like Shakespearean in English, so it doesn't come off as zingy or like as cool. So I think I'm gonna become king of the pirates sounds like declarative.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Next question is, so I just finished reading through Romance Dawn, and I was wondering, isn't the pirate that was waiting for Zeph's cooking at Barate in chapter 902 the same pirate, Crescent Moon Galley, that appeared in Romance Dawn, which we did read? And Oda says, well spotted, very knowledgeable. You're right. This pirate named Crescent Moon Galley, who appeared in the One Piece prototype anthology. Congratulations. Really impressive.
What the heck?
We read that story and we didn't even know in the bonus chapters. That's amazing.
I did not catch that. Man. One Piece fans.
What an eye for those. They analyze character designs. Good God.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Through this podcast, I have more One Piece loaded into memory than at any other point in my life. But it is still like nothing compared to some of these people.
Nope.
That's insane, man.
It really is. Oh my God. And our final question for this set is, for this SBS is, I have a serious question. The name of the castle shown at Marijoa, Pangaea Castle, was it possibly named after the ancient continent where all the other continents were pieced together like a giant puzzle? In other words, isn't that where One Piece is? I think the fact that Pangaea Castle is located in the center of the world is consistent with this. And Oda says, Pangaea supercontinent, the giant continent from long ago formed from the fusion of all the continents. I definitely borrowed the name. As for the meaning, I won't tell.
Of course. I mean, well, I do think it is pretty, like, as far as we know, right? Like, the Red Line is the only continent in the One Piece world, so it would make sense that like technically it is a Pangaea, right? Because it's one continent. It's just one ring around the world.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
But, I mean, but the way that he words that definitely sounds like, oh no, he's got plans.
There's something to the way this world is, apparently.
Yeah. There's more going on here.
My God. All right, well, let's go ahead and continue on to chapter 919, The Ruins of Odin Castle. And we finish off with the rest of our fleet. The Tata pirates under Leo, the Ideo pirates under Ideo, the Yanta Maria fleet, under Orlumbus, and the new giant pirates under Hajuden. So,
man,
there we are.
It is just a nice reminder. We have an army.
Yeah, it is. We got
a whole fleet, man.
And
like
we got
Luffy.
To meet each of them. It was fun.
Yeah.
I was hoping that there would be like a part 3 where there's Bellamy showing off the unbreakable straw hat flag, but no, this is it.
Okay, yeah. Which also, man, This is a great cover story. Shout out.
Yeah, this was very solid. It definitely,
one of the better ones.
I think it made you more attached to a lot of these characters that you might not have had the chance to get attached to, especially Olympus in our case.
Yeah, and I think the fact that it was a bunch of mini stories within a mini story really helped like the pacing.
Yeah, especially because this was 46 volumes long. This was a long one.
It is a long one. Yeah.
Chapter stories.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder where we're gonna get the next one.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Usually it's just going through all the Straw Hats, but we have all kinds of other characters can get involved now. So who knows?
Always looking forward to more wacky, cover requests and stuff like that.
Yeah. So we'll see what we get. But into the chapter itself, Otama is being taken away back to, I forget his name, the guy with the Tengu mask face.
Oh, Tengu Yama, I think.
Tengu Yama, of course.
Oh yeah, Tengu Yama. He has a name that sounds like Hitetsu. I think it's Hitetsu.
Might be that. Yeah, might be. I don't know.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of characters.
Yeah, there's a lot. But
I'm trying my best.
Thanks to her getting Speed on her side.
Yes, which is just hilarious.
Yeah, why is Speed following that kid's order? It's natural for a servant to protect her master, and she's just sweetly eating an apple on her back.
Yeah. No, this little girl is all powerful.
Between the Oshiriko and the apples, I'll never forget the flavors I tasted today. And I saved this apple for Master, the Tengu guy. So he's just, and Luffy just says, just let me borrow this sword a bit longer. You can't be a samurai without a katana. And Zora's like, you didn't even use it. Let me see the sword. Luffy just ignores him.
I love how much this is like an ongoing bit.
Did not expect it to be such a thing. But,
yeah.
That's it for Tama. Tama's taken off, which is probably for the best. It's going to get dangerous.
Yeah.
So let's do that. And the Koma Inu is going to keep helping him out, though. He did not get turned into a servant by the dumplings. He's just helpful. Good
to have him. And, Luffy gets along with animals. He seems to like him.
Yeah. And as they leave, they get a big thank you for the treasure barge. All the people holding on to all the food and the fish and just the water and just celebrating. Like, it is so different from what we saw them at the start.
Yes.
So joyous.
Yeah, I love the little bits, of course the little kids like, we've never seen a feast like this before. And the girl's like, my grandfather was so lively again. He's like, one last memory before I kick the bucket.
And this is the guy who's about to hang himself. And my baby's already feeling better rather than trying to stab him in order to
This reminds me of like the end of Dressrosa when all of like the random citizens were like, all right, lock in.
And then you got Law. Pirates doing nice things for people makes me sick.
Luffy's like, that was a nice thing we did. Kiku's like, it was robbery, wasn't it?
And she decides to tag along. She says, oh, pardon me, this one has always wanted to see Odin Castle. And she's like, what are they doing at the empty ruins of the castle? Like, she has her own little thing. They're good people, but they can't be trusted yet. And she's like, there'll be no trouble. This one can return home alone. She's fine. It'll be all right. And then Zora's just like, nah, she's hiding something.
Again, it's funny how much she really just tries to play it cool, but like they've got kind of seeing through it.
Mm-hmm. And well, it's time to get a better sense of how the people view this country.
How do you feel about propaganda?
Yeah, let's talk about some propaganda and indoctrinating the next generation. Because oh boy,
yeah,
because we got a teacher in the flower capital talking about. Can anyone tell me what a closed nation is? It's closing the entrances to the country to protect the nation's peace. Now, what's an open nation? It's a very bad thing where you let in people and ideas that are harmful to the nation. Countries from across the sea desire to take many things away from Wano. But in the past, they were fools who attempted to do such a thing. And the kids were like, boo, Odin and the Akazaya 9, boo. It's like, no, I didn't ask for the answer. And she, like, apparently is like a snake woman because she can, like, extend her neck.
Yeah.
It's kind of freaky. But that was all 20 years ago. Our hero vanquished those bad samurai already, and they all celebrate for Shogun Korazumi Orochi, who we still have not seen yet. Which
Not
I'm
seen
very
yet.
curious what his design's going to be like. It's like, yep,
Yeah.
all the bad
Orochi's
guys
the
died
two-sided.
20 years ago, and now Wano is healthy and peaceful.
Yeah,
Healthy
boy.
and
Wow.
peaceful.
Well, it's notable that this is taking place in like the flower capital, which is the one place in Wano that's like not like a festering crap hole.
Yeah, and matching a lot of like all the kids are kind of ugly, which I think also ties into the rich kids being that sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
The teacher is traditionally attractive though, so I'm curious. Like,
yeah,
that feels like too much work into that design and having a devil fruit. This woman's gonna show up again at some point. I feel.
I don't remember her at all, so now I'm like, where does she show up again? Actually, I think the gears in my brain are turning.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if this is the same character, but like if she shows up in another place, I can only think of one other place where it would be.
I wonder if she just because it's a common trope in this where a lot of times teachers who are teaching the propaganda are actually against the propaganda themselves and are just sort of following along.
Yeah.
As sort of like undercover type thing. So I wonder if she'd be an example of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can see it going either way.
This is definitely not one of the more like this is not like a front and center kind of thing, but it does come up a couple of times. So now I'm going to be looking out for the through line, I think.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I noticed it on my first read through.
And then we get a juxtaposition right away where we turn the page and a guy that's drinking is going, Shogun Orochi sure is a coward. Don't say that too loudly.
Yeah, we know what happens.
Yeah. And don't be a wimp. So what if anyone hears? It's only the truth. Standing before his burning castle in her dying moments 20 years ago, Odin's wife spoke thus. And this is the Korazumi clan's money changer, napping Kyoshiro. And Odin's wife said, "You are the dawn. You are the moon, unaware of the dawn. May your purpose be fulfilled, and cast 9 shadows on the night, woven of 20 years, and you shall know the brilliance of the dawn."
We're bringing the dawn back.
Exactly, more of this stuff involving the freaking Zoe.
Yep.
And of course, we're seeing all this because here's Robin doing her undercover work, listening in.
Yeah,
what they're saying. So, it's just a simple curse, a bunch of sour grapes. You know how Shogun Orochi interpreted this, and he falls asleep.
Yes,
he's drunk. Oh, like this. On a moonlit night 20 years later, 9 samurai ghosts will emerge to kill you and fulfill their vengeance so they can open Wano's borders. And it's been exactly 20 years since then. And it's like, boy, we are arriving at the right time once again. Like somehow the Straw Hats just get that ability.
We're about to fulfill a prophecy.
Yeah, exactly. That they had no idea about. But it's also like, they explained it. Oh, they had an explanation for why things were happening the way they were in Dressrosa. And funny thing is, the same thing is going to happen here. I love how Oda probably looked at that like, that sure is convenient that the Straw Hats arrive exactly when certain things are about to go down.
Yes.
But now we're having reasons for them.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like there's so much more build up to it too, especially, in the context of Dressrosa, where like it was kind of a thing where it was like, just kind of on the way, like, we'll just stop real quick, it'll be fine. And then it kind of ends up being the ways in which, like, the contexts that bring the Straw Hats to these countries, right? Kind of both being somewhat led by, Momonosuke and
Kinemon and all that.
And Kinemon and all them, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently our Orochi trembles and fears at the ghost of the Koziki clan. So that's why if he hears anything about the Koziki clan, he shuts that down immediately. So you're getting a little bit of motivation here for why things are going the way they are.
I feel like with what we've already learned about Orochi, you can already tell that he's kind of paranoid, right?
Yeah.
And he seems very controlling, right? He's the kind of shut down, you can't say anything bad about you can't say anything bad about the Shogun. You can't mention the Kozuki clan at all. We've seen that multiple times. Like, if you mention Kozuki at all, like, we will kill you.
He brings something to the table that he has a powerful ally in Kaido. And I don't know what that is, because honestly, from the descriptions we're hearing and the position of power he is in, I get the sense that he's basically just a more influential version of Hold'em. Where he's like,
kind of cowardly.
A cowardly, weak guy that has a very powerful ally behind him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out. In the meantime, our group has arrived at the ruins of Odin Castle, where there is no castle. They've completely burned it down, as they mentioned before. And immediately gets Okiku crying at the sight of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and she just leaves.
Yeah. He's like,
Zoro's gone.
And Zoro's missing too, because he could get lost even riding a dog. Somehow he got lost while riding on an animal.
Which is a kind of a great sick burn from Luffy. He's like, that guy will get lost wherever.
And this is amazing. He's like, oh, this place is kind of creepy. Well, 20 years without visitors will do that. And he's like, wait, graves? Wait, Raizo, Momo, Kinemon, Kanjuro? Why do they have graves? Are they dead? That reminds me, we couldn't get in touch with them. Where's Kinemon? I thought he was going to be waiting here. And I love this gag.
This is a great gag.
Because it plays into wait, are they ghosts? What is actually happening here? It's like, no, he's gone. He's been gone for a while. Gone? But you might see him at night. He came out in the dead of night yesterday. You make it sound like he's a ghost or something. Why does he have a grave here? Just be clear about it. There is some painful truth you're having trouble admitting to me. I really shouldn't be telling you about this. And then we have Kinemon coming out all gaunt from the background. Oh, what a day. What a day. I was afraid I wouldn't leave the privy until nightfall again. I think I have stabilized at last. Oh, Sir Luffy, you've completed your journey. Forgive me for not welcoming you. I'm afraid I've been stuck with violent stomach outbursts. He's been on the toilet the entire time, and that's what Law was referring to.
I love the sound effect here is a pun too, which of course they've translated it as papu, but so it is the kanji for ben, which means like bathroom or whatever, but it's supposed to be like the bang, like the shamisen, like the our Wano version of the Doom, but it's ben, but it's the kanji for ben instead, which means bathroom. So,
oh my god!
Good.
I mean, this is a man that can literally talk out of his butt. So
yeah, yeah. And I love, of course, the misunderstanding. He was alive after all. When did I say he was dead?
I said he might come out of the bathroom by tonight. You don't have to be so misleading. I feel like that was a bit of revenge on Law's part for.
I think so. No, he's been so just done with all of this.
But then here comes Okiku back with a tackle hug for Kinemon. You finally returned. Oh, how this one has awaited you on pins and needles. Like, oh, they a couple? Like,
right. Like, what are you doing with them?
It's like, why did you not inform me that you'd returned? So much worry could have been avoided. How cold is Lord Momonosuke? Well, wait, you know each other? And Law's like, seems like plenty more than just that.
Right.
So, she is potentially quite taken.
Yeah. Urashima didn't have a chance.
And Kinemon's just like, I don't know what to tell whom first. Yes, these are powerful helpers. The powerful helpers I've recruited. And that's when Momonosuke comes back. And it's like, hey, Luffy, check it out. I've been practicing with the blade. He's doing his practice swings. He's like, oh, Momo, you're here too. Even the dog guy? And Ukiku's like, oh, Momonosuke, it's good to see you well. Wait, Momo, Luffy Taro, that is very rude. This is, it's fine, Kiko.
We got there's a lot of misunderstandings happening.
By the way, is it Okiku or Kiku? Because they've often shortened it to just Kiku.
Yes. The O is like it's like a respectful, whatchamacallit? What you put at the start of a word.
Okay. Like an honorific?
Yeah. Yeah. It's an honorific. So
okay.
Just like they are, it's sometimes Tama or Otama. It's a similar thing.
So their names are really Kiku and
Kiku
Tama,
and
not
Tama.
Okiku and Otama. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Similarly, I think a couple of times Momonosuke has called Nami Onami.
That is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, turns out the rest from the Whole Cake crew have appeared.
Yeah, everybody's back finally.
We're all together once again. Oh, even here it says Onami. Like Momonosuke is very happy to see Nami again.
Yes.
It took you guys forever to show up, and we went back down to the bottom of the sea to look for you. We found your Viva card, so we knew you were alive at least.
Well, okay, now we have Luffy's Viva card back.
Yeah, until at last we made contact with Kinemon and we were able to get here. And I love the detail where Kinemon is just glumping Nami right away.
Yes.
While Sanji's getting upset that Luffy's getting guard chewed by
yeah. Man, it really was kind of a good while where it was just Luffy and Zoro there.
Which I did kind of enjoy, but I like how they get sort of their own arc, but now everybody's together. So.
Yeah, exactly. It was a nice little, like, almost kind of self-contained little bit.
Yeah. But we check in with the twins, like, how's Beppo doing? Not leaving the bushes, still got the runs. Like, well, who doesn't around here? With all the poison water.
It's funny that, like, there's that, because I love that Zoro and Luffy, they're fine, right? They have poison tolerance. They're like, my stomach hurts a little bit.
Oh gosh. But Law reports in is like, we gotta go talk. We stole some safe, healthy food for the farm. It's like, wait, you're the one who stole that? And
funny confirmation. All the stuff about like Shutenmaru and stuff like that is like, no, it was Law.
Yeah, it's just Law. But yeah, they go to meet up, and I, again, love the details where Sanji is immediately taken with Kiku.
Yes, of course. Like we brought a pretty woman.
But yeah, first things first. In addition to the prior issue of Lord Momonosuke's identity, I must admit another secret I have kept from you. And Luffy's like, what's with all the secrets? Just tell us. You can trust us. And yeah, it's true. Forgive me, but it's such a difficult thing to believe because 5 of us in total, we 3 sitting here, and Kanjuro and Raizo, whom you know as well, are in fact people who belong to the past. And they're like, what? As a matter of fact, we crossed through time to arrive here from Wano, the Wano of 20 years ago. Well, now the 20 years time, like the 20 years in the future thing is starting to make a little bit more sense.
Right. Like, hey, the Akazaya 9 are coming for you. It's like, but they're dead. Like, but are they?
Are they?
Yeah. And also, I love that we are 919 chapters into a manga and then it's like time travel.
Yeah, right. Just time travel introduced with characters that we've known since what, the 700s or something like that.
Yeah. So it is just, and I told you about this because I explicitly remember because this was foreshadowed back in Zoe and you didn't think anything of it. But there's that bit talking about like Lord Oden and all of his sort of exploits and how he was hanging out with Roger and Whitebeard and stuff, and even Momonosuke was like, I was there too. You're like, shut up, you stupid little kid.
Yeah, and that's so good because it does come across because he's a braggart. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm just I was there, but no, he, as we learned, he was actually there. They had to shut him up.
Yeah, so it's just like it's such a fun reveal. We're gonna get into the details here in this next chapter, but like time travel, just like of all of the things.
Sure, why not? Toss it onto the pile.
Toss it on the pile.
At least, as we'll learn, it's smart time travel. It's complicated time travel.
It's not a cop-out. It is not used for cop-out. Oda knows better, and we know that he knows better. So yes. It's just like, let's just get that right out of the way. Like, we're not going to use it to cheat.
Yeah. So, before we move on to our final chapter of the set, we do have another SBS.
Wow.
Let's see what we got here. This is... This one says, I have a question. When I was in 6th grade, I went through special training to be able to perform Shigen and stab through someone with one finger. I wanted the power to stab my meddling friends back then, but now my only power is to say to them, wow, your nails sure are long. I wanted to know how many years of training you need in order to perform Shigen. And Oda just
which
says,
is finger pistol.
Yeah, the finger pistol. And Oda says, I think it's best if you don't stab your friends.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. Next one is, what is Morley-san's power? In chapter 538, Iva says that Newcomer Land was created by a tunnel digging ability user. Does Morley-san have the ability anything to do with this? Since giants have such long lifespans, could it be that Morley-sama made it long ago?
Holy crap.
And Oda confirms. Holy crap, he had Morley planned all the way back in chapter 538. He's like, exactly right. First off, Morley's ability is the Oshi Oshi no Mi. I'm guessing the Dig Dig Fruit or something like that. I'm not sure what Oshi Oshi no Mi means.
My first thought is push, which doesn't make any sense.
Let me see here. I'm going to see if I can find out real quick. Yeah, push fruit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Allows the user to freely move and shape the ground as though it was malleable like clay.
Yeah.
So there we go. Push fruit.
Yeah.
He has the power to break apart and push away various objects, be submerged underground, and create space there. He, in quotes, she, I don't know what that, so that might be a whole thing with Iva there, is currently 160 years old, but he used to be an extremely evil pirate who was captured more than 100 years ago, where he created that place within Impel Down. Aside from being an ability user... Oh, okay. Aside from being an ability user, he managed to break out of prison without people noticing, but then he got involved in a certain incident. Him joining the Revolutionary Army is actually a fairly recent event. Iva made use of the space that was created, but it was Iva that created the atmosphere. Although Morley was the one that made the space, Newcomer Land was undoubtedly created by Iva. In the end, Iva still doesn't know that the tunnel digging ability user is Morley. So it's something that Iva doesn't even know. It's just Morley made this space between the floors and nobody realized, but Iva found it and decided to make Newcomer Land.
That's incredible. What a crazy detail.
I know, right? God. It's amazing how he uses such later stuff to just flesh out earlier stuff that, like, he has a line about it, but then he just goes into more detail.
Yeah, it just gives context to stuff that we saw earlier.
Yep. In our final one, it's time to go pervy. I heard that you aren't able to buy adult magazines at the convenience store. Does this mean I also can't buy One Piece there? And Oda says, listen, remember this well. One Piece is a shonen manga. And with that, the SBS is over. It's like, it's fine. It's shonen. God. Oh, God. So, yep. That's our
surprisingly meaty, really good SBS this week.
Yeah.
Not a lot of really dumb ones. And even the dumb ones were pretty funny.
Yeah, and it's the other fun thing is that it's stuff that like shocks you. Is like, oh wait, holy crap.
Yeah. A lot of details that again, I can't keep everything straight.
Yeah. All right, let's finish it up with chapter 920 for Love of Odin, and it's time for our request where Sanji and Zoro fight even in their dreams, and they're beating each other up, and both are declaring themselves the victor, where Chopper is cheering on Zoro and Nami is giving a hug to Sanji.
It's interesting that it's Chopper specifically.
I love how it is Chopper that's in Zoro's dreams. Like, that's who he wants cheering for him, the kid.
That's cute. That's adorable.
But back into the chapter itself, it's time to get some history.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is where Odin Castle stood, but its true name is Curry Castle. The people of Curry called it by that title out of their love for Lord Odin, Momo's dad. Our Lord Odin was a rather boisterous fellow, as a matter of fact, and despite being the son of Kozuki Sukuyaki, the shogun of Wano at the time, his willful ways and repeated acts of violence earned him banishment from the flower capital. Meanwhile, at that time, there was a place in Wano known for being a lawless area. Criminals and ronin banished from other towns and regions banded together there to steal and attack and shed blood day after day. Even the shogunate threw in the towel on this vicious place, and that was none other than Curry. Lord Odin strode into that very Curry, identified the most dangerous of all the wicked men there, and fought against Ashura Doji, the demon child, and was victorious. So he assumed command of all those ruffians, gave them work to do, built up a town, then a castle, and even created the Paradise Farm for the people. So it was lively and bustling, bursting with freedom and laughter. But ultimately, Shogun Sukiyaki decided to give him the title of Daimyo of Kuri at the young age of 20. So there's a lot of info there. I am very curious about this demon child Ashura, because boy howdy am I all of a sudden being reminded of Big Mom.
Oh, yeah, I kind of see it with the silhouette.
Yeah. I don't know if it actually means anything, but the fact that he gave him a name is like,
Yeah. We'll see. You won't have to wait too long. It's pretty soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That will become very clear. I'm pretty sure, like, not too far from now.
Yeah. Odin seems to have some pretty crazy hair. I'm curious what his actual design looks like.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get, when you see him in silhouette, it's like, what is going on there? Also, of course, Odin is basically like a boiled hot pot meal. Sukiyaki is also like a boiled hot pot kind of meal. Yeah, it's all food.
Of course. But yeah, they dug out the river, built a dock, connected to other towns and people, and Odin loved to say it's too cramped. But let's take a little break from that story, as Zoro is now lost, and it's like, I can't believe that Koma Inu actually got lost with me riding on it.
That's what happened, for sure.
And he finds a dock and he's like, oh, I guess I'll take another ride. So who knows what he's going up to now.
Bye, Zoro.
Yeah, Zoro's just off doing his own thing. Sure.
Yeah.
But I also love seeing Duke Dogstorm here.
Yeah.
On the short Curry.
We didn't know he was here yet, right? Like, this is new.
We knew he was headed there, but this is the first we've seen him. And we can see the other members of the Musketeers
also,
in the back.
Great outfit with the rice.
Oh, he looks fantastic. Like that. That's a great look for him. But even he's remembering Odin at this point. It's like the realm of Wano was just a bit too small. But how I finally remember this old shore. They feared us, calling us talking dog and talking cat. But Odin was different, and he shamed all of them. Your fear of the alien exposes your own ignorance. He was our savior. He was a true hero. He was our master. And we get to see young Dogstorm and Cat.
Which,
oh God,
I feel like those words from Odin were, he's like, it's your fear of the alien that exposes your ignorance. Whereas we just saw with like the propaganda where it's like, outside ideas are bad and evil.
Yeah, fear those things.
Yeah, so you can kind of see what Oda's cooking here, with kind of the different philosophies.
Mm-hmm. And we just see the samurai of Wano who entranced Whitebeard and even charmed Roger. And we get these wordless moments where they're kind of shocked. It's like, that's just awful. And then what happened to Odin? He was something happened, and he's like taken to the flower capital as a criminal and tried and executed. And Luffy smashes a wall. It's like, what? No way. That's messed up. What a dirty thing to do, Orochi. Like, he's actively upset.
Yeah. I feel like Luffy doesn't normally listen to backstories, so
that's true.
He's really invested now.
That is very true. This is one of the rare backstories we actually do have Luffy listen to.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of necessary with just how much is being said here.
Yeah.
But I do wonder, like, Oda has purposely left out these details for what happened that went from good things are good to Orochi's takeover.
Right.
So we'll have to see what comes of that, or how that all happened. And here's where it's really interesting, because like, while Lord Odin's stunning death might be 20 years in the past, to all of us, it was mere months ago. The end of the heroic warrior known as Kozuki Odin still appears fresh and vivid when I close my eyes, and it brings them all to tears.
Yeah, they're all crying.
Seeing all this. And Sanji just says, wow, it's a wonder you guys even survived. And yeah, at that point, we had no allies. Our only choice was to escape. So we left the execution area and headed straight for Odin Castle. And along the way, Dogstorm and Cat Viper began to squabble. When Orochi's men caught them, we gave up their lives for lost. So it goes into that.
Yep.
At that point, we knew that no matter which of us fell, someone had to reach this castle. For in his quest to undo the Kozuki clan, Orochi's next target would be Lord Momonosuke. However, Kaido's forces had beaten them to the punch. and you see Kaido there. You see, think you see the other members because you see we can see the outline of
oh yeah, there's
Jack, and two other huge dudes. Like holy crap!
Yeah. We'll see them. Those are recognizable silhouettes.
Oh boy, but yeah, the castle was already burning. So turns out also Momonosuke has a younger sister, Hiyori.
Yeah. Yep.
Which have we heard about before? I don't think we heard about before.
No, I think that's the first mention of it.
I wonder what happened to her. There's definitely something going on there. And his mother, Kozuki Toki. But yeah, Kinemon says it's difficult for me to believe, but rumor had it that Lady Toki had not been born in our era, but long, long ago. Mankind cannot return to the past, but it can leap into the future. I've used this strange time ability to travel further and further into the future until at last I arrived here at my final destination, to Lord Odin. And yes, and so I will stay here. So, traveled into the future for some reason. Have no idea who this woman is. Who knows if she was even from the lost century at this point? Because good God, maybe I can honestly see this woman being the reason why Odin became so curious about the outside world and wanting to open up the borders.
Yeah, I think knowing what we know about what like the Kozuki's clan's like involvement with kind of a lot of the other kind of established mysteries, that we have, with all the stuff, and it's like even if Lady Toki herself, which by the way, Japanese word for time,
of course,
just straight on the nose. But like, even if she is or isn't from the Void Century, it's kind of like, no matter how far back in the past she's from, I feel like she probably knows, right? And she seems to have this kind of innate understanding, especially if like she specifically did not send herself into the future, but chose to send Momonosuke and Kinemon, and all these other folks, and was like, nah, I'm good. I've been traveling further and further into the future, but I'm going to choose to die here.
Yeah, that's very interesting in choosing that. And again, having those last words to Orochi, setting up in 20 years, these going and specifically sending these guys 20 years in the future. Again, well done, Oda, for setting up why things are happening now and why this is so important. Bravo. And I'm so curious what's going to come of it. But they're so loyal that they like, we wouldn't dare stop you. But if we truly leapt into the future, we would find a way to finish Lord Odin's wish and strike down Orochi and Kaido so this country could be opened at last. So she left Momonosuke with them.
And she says a little grin.
Yeah. Oh man. What happened to Hiyori? I feel like Hiyori's going to show up at some point as an adult.
You would not have that baby in a burning castle and name drop it just so that it would die.
No,
right?
No. There's no reason to
absolutely not
that extra tragedy.
You'd not be like, oh yeah, like Momonosuke had a sister.
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, right.
So yeah, we see them. We see all of our Kinemon and Raizo and Momonosuke, all of them just in the future. It's like, wait, where are we? Where's the castle? Lady Toki, Hiyori? Where's Mother? And they find their own graves. And then they look in the distance and they can see what happened to Wano under Orochi, the factories, the
everything.
The towns. Like, good God. And so they decided to learn about what's actually going on, and they saw the factories and the filth and the water that was undrinkable, and the Kozuki name scorned by everybody. It's basically felt like hopeless that they would actually find anybody that was actually loyal to them.
Right.
And however, they did, because this Jabuamon or something, was once a retainer of Kibi, and they have been waiting for 20 years. I trusted the words of your mother, Lady Toki, all for this day. And, that's when her words came in. In 20 years, the ghost will be there of the past to take care of this and bring the dawn. And so we decided to bind our, sound crazy, but we're going to wait for the bodies of the Akazaya 9. And
which I feel like we have not been explained what the Akazaya 9 are, but I feel like you can kind of fill in the blanks that it's some of them.
yeah. It's like it's the 9 greatest samurai of Wano would be, or the warriors of Wano, because they're not all samurai. So we have 4 of them.
Yeah.
So I'm curious who the other 5 are. But they do know that an ally is there if they have the mark of a moon on his ankle. So good to know. And so they realized, like, okay, we're going to have to rouse these forces without alerting anyone. We'll do everything we can. So they left Kiku here to investigate, which is why she had all these side things and know what's going on. Yep. Figuring it all out. And then it led to everything else going on that we've been reading about up to this point. Leaving the countries of crime. So as soon as they embarked, they were traced across the waters. We tried to head for Zo, but without the sailing skill needed, we soon crashed and wrecked the ship. Raizo was swept away, saying we should meet on Zo. Eventually, we washed up alive on Dressrosa because of his connections to Kaido, Doflamingo had us pursued there. Momonosuke then got on the strange boat by a mistake, and in chasing after him, I got separated from Kanjuro. And then even on Punk Hazard, when we arrived next, Caesar was another henchman of our foe. Since it was when with Law doing, cutting me apart, that led me there until you guys found me on the dragon and how it all did that. And I find it so funny.
Yes.
That the point where I left off reading initially, from that point forward, it's all stuff leading up to this moment, this arc with their whole thing. That is so funny to me that just happens to be where I left off.
We're finally kind of like, we're bringing it all back together, right? It really is like what we had learned in Punk Hazard and what we had done laid the foundations for not just Dressrosa, not just Zo, not just Whole Cake, just basically like an entire like stretch of 10 years from Punk Hazard through Wano.
Whole Cake was the only section that had nothing to do with them, but still, just incredible. But yeah, he's very grateful to have met all of them. While Orochi's forces have singled us out, our saving grace is that they do not seem to take us entirely seriously. To them, we are a little more than ghosts, which we did see thanks to that drinking guy. Therefore, they've not even bothered to warn the populace with wanted posters. We have re-entered the nation, and they still do not realize it. And Kiku's like, you didn't even tell me you were here. I was like, sorry. Sanji's me like, hey, stop flirting. There's definitely something going on there between those two.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I forgot to point this out, but I mean, she did call him master, which I feel like is not a romantic relationship, most likely.
Yeah, she definitely taught. She's definitely his student, if I had to guess. So they can't let their plan be exposed, and Luffy's like, "Okay, got it." So on our side will be Sir Luffy and his Straw Hat crew, Sir Law and his Heart Pirates, the Mink Powers of Dogstorm's Musketeers and Cat Viper's Guardians, and the various samurai who we are rousing who will have to fight back. Our ideal number is 5,000 strong. However, we do not wish for war. We need to gather information in absolute secrecy and assemble a calculated plan to behead the enemy leadership. We have 2 weeks. On the night of the Fire Festival, we will travel to Kaido's base on Onigashima Island of Ogres and carry out a raid. As soon as I hear this, we have a plan. I immediately had flashbacks to the attempted assassination of Big Mom. It's like, this is not going to go well.
Well, 2 weeks is a long time.
True.
It is a long time for Luffy to cause havoc. I mean, the way it is like, all right, the plan must not be exposed. Luffy's like, yep, got it. It's like, you don't got it. You don't got
If anything, I think Luffy's best bet is just to be used as a distraction, that they focus in on him while they do a bunch of other stuff behind the scenes. That is their best bet at this point.
It's clear, like, I think what I love about this, like this is sort of maybe the first time where like instead of accidentally stumbling into a revolution, we're kind of there into it, right? Like we're in on the plan this time.
Yeah,
it's not
we're there for the revolution this time.
Yeah, and so I think it does add to this, and that we're kind of on the side that is like making the attack first, right? That they kind of have no idea that this is happening, and so we're gonna invade Onigashima, we're gonna invade, and we're gonna just try to topple the oppressive powers. But
and honestly,
it's nice
if they
that
could take out Kaido, I can't imagine Orochi would be that bummed. Kaido is definitely the focal point.
Yeah. Well, that and that we're trying to amass an army of 5,000. Like
we need to
I
need to make a call to Orlumbus.
Right. Yeah. We need to get the whole squad up here. Like, it's hard to Wano's closed off, but you need to get here somehow.
Amazing. It's like, okay.
But a lot of lore. But yeah, we kind of have our guiding principle. Right?
Yes.
We have
overall,
kind of the big idea. Yes.
But the funny thing is, we don't know what the next step is. What are we doing in those 2 weeks?
Oh, I know.
I know you know, but I don't know. And that's my big question. Is like, okay, I don't have a clear idea of where we're headed next, which is kind of exciting in its own way.
Yeah, I think this is a really, really good place to leave off. I think without a shadow of a doubt at this point, like I'm pretty sure I know what's coming next. I'm trying to remember the exact order of events. I'm very much excited for next week. Like we got a plan. Like, all right, let's start doing this thing. Let's build an army. So
yeah. Oh, very nice.
Weird.
This is a fun set. Very fun set.
Yeah.
Got some nice
action. I feel like between all of the stuff like with the food and kind of like setting the stage for a revolution, like this feels like the most One Piece an arc has ever One Pieced. It feels like all of the kind of familiar ideas, we're doing unique spins on them. We're kind of like, it feels like everything has been building up to this. It is sort of implied to be kind of the biggest battle we've ever been in up to this point. So yeah,
cannot wait.
I'm excited.
Yep, we'll have to see how it all goes down. But with that, I believe we've said all we've wanted to say about chapters 916 to 920 of One Piece. Thank you so much for listening, and you can find more of my ramblings and stream VODs over at BitNerd Games on YouTube or simply BitNerd on BlueSky. And Brandon, where can everyone find you at?
I am Brandon Bovia on Twitter and BlueSky, talking about anime, manga, games, and my job, and yeah, just more of that. I don't remember what I've talked about or not talked about, but I'll try to shill work projects whenever I can. You know where to find me.
I think the thing I've most recently seen you talk about is the guy she fell for wasn't a guy at all, or something like that.
Yeah. That's I've been doing that for a good few months now. But yeah, that's a really popular Yuri manga where it is illustrated in black and white and green.
Okay.
And it's about sharing your tastes in Western music, classic rock, things like that.
I can see that. I can see people attaching to that.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a really, really good manga.
Nice.
Also, I worked on an Assassin's Creed webtoon that came out really recently.
Wow.
It is actually a sequel to Black Flag.
That's fun. I know everybody loves that one.
Yeah. So, if you love Black Flag, if you love Edward Kidway, and you just want more adventures with him, go check that out. It's a lot of fun. And, it's my first time lettering something in full color, so it was a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah. And if you'd like to help us out more, you can support the podcast over at patreon.com/Derrick Bittner. That's DerrickBitner to listen to the next episode ad-free 3 days early, as well as patron-exclusive bonus episodes. And make sure to return next time as we discuss chapters 921 to 925 of One Piece. So until then, my friends, bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.
I promise you this, and we will make good on it. Once we arrive in the future, we shall fulfill Lord Odin's dream! Both Orochi and Kaido will be defeated!